Good morning to you. We are the voice of the people, 90.3 FM. It's 1 minute past 7. My name is Mary Onaife Edebi. How are you doing today? It's a public holiday. I just remembered it's a public holiday, and it's going to be a cool day today. I suppose you are home and you're resting or taking care of yourself, or maybe you have to work like some of us, but all the same, it's a holiday. This is a front page review. Welcome, where I give you the headlines from different newspapers, and then we get to talk, look at the state of the nation. A lot has happened over the weekend, so we'll bring you up to speed with some of the news making the rounds this morning. We'll begin with the Punch newspaper. Now, the first headline here says, Sudan conflict, government seeks Egypt support to rescue 5,500 Nigerians by road. Tinubu may return today to meet APC NWC. Your petition against Tinubu dead on arrival, Nnamani tells Obi. Police launch manhunt for fleeing Adamawa wreck. Also from the Punch this morning, with 35 days to go, Buhari leaves Nigerians with failed promises. That's the headlines from the Punch newspaper. Now to the Vanguard this morning. Nationwide blackout looms as generation falls below 4,000 megawatt. Sudan war, Nigerians' only viable way out is evacuation by road, says the federal government. Another headline here from the Daily Trust says Sudan crisis remain indoors. Federal government tells Nigerian students. And we also have another one here, also from the Daily Trust. It says Sudan crisis, federal government begin evacuation of stranded Nigerians tomorrow. Now, the writer says 5,500 waiting for government action. Students move to Ethiopia, cry for rescue. Now, airline bypass airspace. That's the writer to the story. Another one here now from the Sun newspaper. 168 escaped death at Ibadan police barracks collapse. Okay, 168 escaped deaths as Ibadan police barracks collapse. That story is on the Sun newspaper. And also another one here from The Nation. It says 3-story buildings collapse in Lagos. That story is on The Nations also. Now, these are the stories this morning. We'll move on now to discuss some of the issues in the news. I have other ones here. I think I didn't finish it. Let's look at some other papers. Here we have This Day newspaper. This day says, the first one says NMDPRA finalizing on domestic gas price tariff in support of initiative. Now, another one from This Day says APC dissolved presidential campaign council. And Serap urges Buhari to probe missing 149 million barrels of crude oil in 2019. Okay, this one is a Metro story from the Punch. It says 2 children, 5 others burned to death in Lagos Ibadan Expressway. That's a very sad story. Very, 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 very sad. And let's take another one from the Vanguard. Global competitiveness, over 30 taxes choke industries in Nigeria as federal government plans 18 more. And withdraw your petition against Tinubu, Nnamani urges Obi. Okay, these are the headlines this morning from all of these newspapers, from the Vanguard to the Sun, the Daily Trust, the Punch, This Day. We're going to look at some of the interesting stories here. You can see that from all of the headlines, we're hearing the Sudan story. It's everywhere. So we'll talk a little bit about it, then we'll move on to other interesting issues. As I connect with Rufai Oseni this morning, to join in the analysis of the story. Remember, the phone lines will be open after this, and then you could join the conversation. Right now, we are streaming on YouTube. and also on Facebook. So you could join our community on YouTube, Facebook, and our website also. We stream there on a regular. Our website is www.thevoiceofthepeople.ng. Okay, I think I have Rufai Oseni on the line with me. Good morning to you.
Bless you. Morning.
How was your weekend?
It's all right. Resting. I'm still
Okay.
lagged.
I didn't hear that. I didn't get that.
I'm still very jet. I'm still jet lagged.
Oh, oh, don't worry. We'll get around. Now to the story this morning in all of the newspapers. We have the Sudan conflict. The government seeks Egypt's support to rescue 5,500 Nigerian students by road. Now, federal government warns as Nigerian student pays $100 for dangerous roads. And also from the rider, he said, we are waiting for Sudanese government to provide safe corridor for evacuation. Now, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has come under fire for all of this. That we have countries, African countries like Uganda, Tanzania, and even Kenya, other countries have been able to rescue their students or their people from Sudan as the fighting there continues. Over 400 people have been killed and thousands injured. Why is it difficult? Now they're saying that they want to seek approval so that they can take this 5,500 students by road. So it's been a debate. Are we making progress with this? Why are we slow? If countries like Uganda, Tanzania can do this, what is going on? That's the question that's on the mind of many Nigerians. What's your take?
The truth, we're massively incompetent. Government is incompetent and always fail on things and bungle things. So you see, when I ask politicians question, I say the government. They say don't say that. I say please, government competence. If we're competent enough, we'll have started actually. The minister also dropped the ball. Because that be I don't watch was doing that. You see, he's not today. This was exactly Nigerian students. I was doing my live chats and I normally do for all my boss all the world. And I was just saying that if there are students in Sudan, they reach out to me so that we can see what we can help. During the Ukrainian crisis, too, the role I played, I don't like tooting my horn. In terms of even resettling some of the students and getting their school fees, some were relocated to Hungary and things across to them. I know the role I played. You get, and it was because the government was found wanting. If you go and check during the Ukrainian crisis, it was my tweets on the Mr. Okoro that they ought to contact in the embassy somewhere that went viral. And that was what a lot of students used. So as we speak now, there's no organization. The first thing the government ought to have done, once the war started, that they were looking at the crisis, they ought to have liaised with all the media houses in Nigeria and say, you know what, guys, we need to work together as regards this. Then they start to put out contact points. Then act immediately. They didn't need to wait till the war got so big before they started to act. Now they are trying to get the students out through very dangerous routes.
Very oh.
You know, that they will pay amount $100. How many? And the question is, how many of the students have the $100 in the house? And that's where we come in. And that's why what I was doing pretty much was helping to mobilize and ensure that most of the time, with my own little widow's mite, the ones I will give 20, I'll give $10 at least during the journey so that they can eat. So government has dropped the ball, but these are still our students. The question is now how we can reach out to them. So please, as a station VOP, what we should do today, let's also announce it during our shows. But there might be students that listen to us by the virtue of international platforms like YouTube and Sudan. They should reach out and tell us what's going on with them. And we can announce this thing to pass on the message to the necessary authorities here so that they know the better evacuation route. So we'd like to call on students, please, if you are in Sudan there, you listen to VOP. I know there are lots of VOP listeners that are in Sudan that listen to us via YouTube. I just hope the internet isn't still up. They still get access to internet because as everything's been bombed. Reach out to us. Tell us your plight. We amplify your plight here. Then it leads the ministry. And please, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, also reach out to the media now. This is the time that at first I thought the ministry would hold a crisis talk with all top media executives or hold a crisis talk with Bond so that Bond can issue out a circular to most of his members and say, okay, this is the way forward so that we can all work together. You see, in matters like this, Mary, we are all Nigerians. And those our fellow Nigerian brothers in Sudan must come out safe and sound. That's my
Yeah,
priority.
yeah. Over 5,500, according to the report. Now, when we're discussing this issue in the public parlors, someone said that we shouldn't even blame the federal government, that we keep blaming federal government, that there we have a minister of foreign affairs, Geoffrey Oyema, that he is the one that is grossly incompetent. That if he had taken a better approach, we won't be here now. But you can't blame him without blaming the federal government for this. So we just
No. You blame Jeffrey Oyema, you also blame the federal government. You see, because Mary, let's even dial back. When this crisis started to happen in the first place, the question you should ask is, does the Nigerian embassy in Sudan even have enough money to be able to execute the evacuation? See, what we normally do in the end is we now resort to air peace. That's why Mr. Allen Oyema is a national hero.
Yeah.
If that man and a couple of other people like Max Air that always bail us out. So there's no contingency plan. And I can tell you for the grapevine, have we really even bothered to inquire that? Do those people get paid for their services? So when you look at it, the first line of action for the mobilization and everything should be the Nigerian embassy in Khartoum, in Sudan. But when you ask them, do they have enough money? No. And you know how the federal government has been cutting funds to embassies. Didn't you hear the story of one embassy somewhere of Nigeria abroad that the toilets were not working properly? They couldn't even flush properly.
Yeah, I heard it. So this blame goes straight to the federal government.
Federal government, because they've been defunding embassies. They've been defunding embassies. See, in a proper setting, the embassy institute in the nation of crisis should be able to take it over. Do you want to compare the response of the Nigerian embassy with the American embassy? And it goes back to the government because we became so slow. Last week, now we're just talking. You know what the British government did? They set up Cobra. You know what Cobra is? Cobra is the Emergency Security National Meeting in the UK. It was last week they set it up as regards what's happening in Sudan. And they brought out an execution plan to bring out their citizens. See, when the British government set up Cobra, when they call Cobra, Cobra means the nation is at war. It's a high-stake emergency meeting. Till today, as President Muhammadu Buhari set up any high-stake national security emergency meeting as regards the crisis in Sudan to bring our people back in. So it goes back to the government. And that's why when you say the government is... See, let me tell you something. 80% of government's work should be proactiveness. The remaining 20% is plan and execution. Once a government is not proactive, it cannot get plan and execution right. Because once you're not proactive, plan and execution becomes faulty. Because plan and execution is dependent on time. And that's why we have to go through this dangerous route now in Sudan. So all buck stops at the office of the Mr. President. Just like they failed again and it took a long time before they could get students out of Ukraine. The same thing has repeated itself. This same lackluster, lackadaisical attitude.
It's quite lackadaisical. It's quite sad. Let's see how it pans out. Like you've said, what the suggestions you gave this morning are, I think it's 100%. Student listening from yes, we should all weigh in. We should all weigh in at this moment.
Mary, tell your other colleagues as our own corporate social. This is how you're going to phrase it. In our own corporate social responsibility. In fact, if you can do a jingle for it. As our own corporate social responsibility, we just want to reach out and say we care. The VOP family cares for students in Sudan. If you're a student in Sudan, you're getting any difficulty, reach out to us on our social media platform and across board. As simple as that.
Yeah, now to another story here. It's the headline. It's the headline for me. It says that with 35 days to go, Buhari leaves Nigerians with failed promises. I think it's a report of some of the promises of President Buhari that was sworn in May 29, 2015, with thousands of Nigerians gathered at Eagle Square in Abuja, and millions of people watching via television as he was sworn into office. And he's leaving now. We'll be leaving very soon, months away, with lots of fake promises. Like what we just spoke about now. It's a lot of fake promises. But the president-elect, Tinubu, they said he may return today to the country. That's what is being said on different newspaper. That he've had 3 months of recuperating after the hustle of the campaign. So he's getting back to the country now. So what should we expect from a failed president, according to this report, to a president-elect that's taking 3 months to go rest in France to prepare for the new administration?
You see, when it comes to promises, I take Nigerian leaders. For me, I think it's best you don't even make promises. It will surprise me when you do. The president-elect, yes, he has to come back and he has to start forming his team. I just hope they are going to be able to get us ministers on time, and I hope they are going to be able to get the nation working because there's so many problems they need to fix. Subsidy is one of them. Anyway, we have to see a date to pulling that out. They've started rolling out the palliatives, which a lot of people say is suspect. The economy is another thing. Reviving moribund industries. But I did a Twitter something over the weekend that went viral. And I mentioned from research and literature here and there. Do you know in the last 20 years, over 10,000 companies have shut down in Nigeria, Mary?
Over 10,000.
Yeah, because of the bad economy and the likes. See, companies like Michelin were employing direct employment over 40,000 people in their plants and installations across the country. Michelin is long gone. Dunlop, to use to have a factory in Nigeria, Dunlop is long gone. What Dunlop now does is they import tires into Nigeria to sell from Spain and South Africa. So just imagine thousands of jobs going out of the country. You remember when we started hearing a lot of factories were leaving because there's no power and the likes. So that's the country we become. So it behoves of this president to at least bring factories back. See, my very good friend is a journalist today, top journalist, back pager. Is a back page opinionist and columnist at the back of Punch. His father used to own a very popular lace factory, Sokas. It was a partnership between his father's partner, and some Austrians. He said they had a factory that were employing 5,000 people. Today, because of what happened in 1986, the economic crisis, those factories are gone. We need to bring jobs back. And look at the Nasruddins, those that used to make NASCO conflicts in Jos and buy tech detergents and other biscuits and things like that. Knock on wood, those guys used to have close to 50 to 100,000 people working in their factories. All gone. Where are all the textile factories? All gone. And you see, that's why the kind of wealth. I was in a very big stakeholders meeting and I kept on asking the question that, do we have real wealth in Nigeria? What we have is rents. And some people said, yes, most of the top people out there is mostly how they can get government contracts and all of that. And that's why you see, it's because there are no jobs. That's why there's too much emphasis on politics. And that's why people will kill and
to get into politics.
So there's no real economy. That's why you can see a multi-billionaire that's just a portfolio billionaire. When you ask, okay, what are the real sectors of industry he has invested in? What are his products? You can hardly see them. So probably maybe what they just buy one or two companies to save face. So we are not having real wealth, and real wealth should be able to translate into employment for people too, not just portfolio billionaires and all of that. You should have what's the capacity of jobs you are creating. So the new president must be able to change the paradigm as regards that. But President Muhammadu Buhari, he failed on most of his promises. He said he would do infrastructure. He did some of them, but mostly he failed. Insecurity continued. Corruption continued. One of his greatest promises that he failed on. You remember when President Muhammadu Buhari told us that he's for everybody and for nobody? Now, lie. It was for the corrupt political class, rigging class. We saw how if you joined APC, your things were forgiven. We remember the case of likes of Danjuma Goje, that as he did a deal with the APC, they forgave all his corruption charges. they declared a nolle prosequi on his case. So we saw how much, once you are close to President Muhammadu Buhari, you could be as corrupt as hell and you'll get away with it. So that is major promise of from everybody and from nobody. Now lie. All right.
And
So the truth has said, we expect the new president to do better. Let me give you some recommendations I tweeted the other day. And I hope any new president will take this. And if you can take this as a new president, you'll be able to do a lot. Because in the end, Nigeria is my country. And if my country does well, I believe everybody will be happy. And I have a couple of ideas that I keep pushing forward. And I say, see, for you to be able to grow a country, there are things you must do. You must reduce bureaucracy, ensure a competitive economy, stop state capture. There's a lot of state capture going on in Nigeria. You know what state capture is? Politicians, they take over a place and they take over all the revenue generation points of the states, either partly or wholly. That's state
yeah,
capture.
yeah,
They set up companies to be able to take out of the state revenue to benefit them. And when you do that, that revenue cannot be used to develop the state. It just makes one man super powerful. So he has all
yes,
the
to be
money.
very rich. Yeah,
Educate the population, improve revenue through innovation, embrace fiscal discipline, make politics less attractive, reduce unemployment, and I said lastly, build a real economy. Once you do this, Nigeria will start to get back on track. You see, the case of insecurity we are talking about is because we don't have a real economy. I did a research and said insecurity increased in the north when the textile factories start to shut down. And it's true. So I wish the new president luck. I wish him what I wish myself. But I pray that we get it right this time around.
now,
All of this is still barring the court cases that are going on, though. We can't forget that.
no,
And that's
on
when
on the court case,
Mr.
on the court case,
Mr. Nnamani was saying today that Peter Obi should remove his case to court.
yeah,
Mr. Nnamani has moral rights to tell Mr. Peter Obi what to do about the court case. So you should please cease and desist from all these things he's saying. And
it's on the Punch newspaper. It says your petition against Tinubu dead on arrival. Nnamani tells Obi, and I think other newspapers too.
hope he knows that he can be charged for contempt of court for what he said. Because that case is in court is sub judice. You are not the one to tell a case that is in court that is dead on arrival. You should watch it.
And that's on one hand. And you know that the 40% increase on federal government workers, civil servants, they've been paid. Chris Agige made sure that the money has been paid to civil servants. But the question is, what about private workers? And this one goes to show that the subsidy is going to be removed. It's sure going to be removed if the federal government can pay this money, pay the 40% increase to civil servant, like it said, to cushion the effect of the economy, according to what said. But we know that all this is towards the subsidy removal. Now, the other question is, what about people that are working in the private sector? And another debate is, why is it that those in government, the senators, House of Assembly, those doing government work, why don't they tax themselves, the ones collecting the big money in the National Assembly, tax themselves to cushion the effects of this subsidy removal? That's another argument for discussion.
Because they are only about their own personal interest. And that's why we are saying they should de-emphasize this attractiveness to politics. A couple of recommendations I'll make. I think the role of National Assembly speakers and National Assembly legislators should be part-time. And all they should be paid, it should be a sitting allowance.
That would be so great if it can be done.
They should pay them many monthly emoluments. And the job should not have a pension. They shouldn't pay them any national emoluments. All they should be paid is a sitting allowance for every time. And they can also pay an ad hoc fee if they have to work overnight for bills and all of that. If you do that, if take for instance they sit how many times of the month and you pay them XYZ for sitting allowance, and probably the money goes like maybe 500,000 to 1 million. A lot of them will not do politics. That's when you see the real people that want to serve that will do politics. So let me tell you something. The federal government keeps making a very despicable mistake. You see, the way inflation goes in Nigeria, once the markets have heard that they've paid federal workers' salary now, increase in salary, price of things will go up. VO News,
Yes,
a sister news outlet for Voice of the People, wrote a very interesting op-ed that you should go check out on vonewsng.com, and talked about the fact that inflation would increase, and they're also going to do a follow-up writing to it by interviewing a financial analyst. But when the inflation increased, they forget that only federal workers is paid. And Mary, please, I want to ask you, how much do you think are these federal civil servants? According to IPs, there are 720,000 public servants working for Nigeria at the federal level. So this money, according to IPs, is just for 720,000 people. What's the population of Nigeria?
Over 200 million.
What 50% of working population in this country, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you have a country that has 15 to 35 thereabouts, close to over 30%, let's say over 30, so that let's over 60% of the population are the working population, because Nigeria is a very young country. So let's say 60% of 200 million, 0.6 times 200. If my math serves me right, I good for add math more. 0.60 times 200. So that's about 120 million people that are working. So out of 120 million people that are working, you just pay 720,000. Then you still have about 119 million people there. There's no provision made for them. Because you, government, you don't control the factors of production in the private sector. It is what the private sector chooses that they pay the people.
Okay, Rufai, hold the thought. We need to pay some bills shortly, and then we'll be back after this. Let's go pay this bill.
Yeah, for this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash, as long as you get Momo account. No cash, no wahala, and e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Okay, and we are back. This is Voice of the People 98.3 FM. Rufai Oseni, are you still there?
Yes, Mary. So as I was saying, that's your part, my dear.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, so Mary, we've removed 720,000 people first. The other $800 million, that is a loan, not a grant, because we are still going to pay that money back for the World Bank.
Yeah.
They say they want to spend that one on 10 million families. Minus 10 million families by the 120 million people that are of the working population that we just estimated. 10 million. So you still have 110 million families remaining, or 110 million people remaining. What is the government doing to cushion this effect of increased petroleum prices on the 110 million families and the inflation that will come about? Don't forget the fact that these people are already suffering from over 20% inflation as we speak today in the country. Food inflation is on the increase. So and that's why we keep saying that 800 billion, the government should not spend it on 10 million families. They should spread it around by ensuring that, okay, if they can use it to reduce the cost of food in markets, I don't know how they are going to do that. If they are going to pay importers of food a leverage to be able to make food be at a certain price for people, maybe the key staples like rice and all of that, I don't know how they are going to do it. Because at this rate, it's already difficult to buy food. I just hope we will not be depending on food aid.
No, we hope not. We hope not. With this new administration now, after May 29th, we'll see what will happen. Maybe the president-elect is going to remove this subsidy in phases. Maybe he will not remove it. We don't know yet, because we can't see a lot of cushioning effect.
Hopefully. Another thing I normally would suggest is this. I don't know how they're going to do it, but this might also be political. This can also cushion the effects. What I say is soup kitchens in 774 local governments. It might not be adequate, but it might go a long way. See, the way Nigerians have been conditioned, at least if an average Nigerian has a meal a day, it goes a long way. And this is what private people can do. If I had the money, this is one thing I've always thought of. Soup kitchens in such a way that you get in there, you get a tag, at least you have a meal.
A day.
You go. So at least you'll be able to put in the burden on a lot of people. You get in there in the morning, you get a tag in your locality, you have a meal, and you go.
Let's open the phone lines to get the reactions from our listeners. I also wanted us to talk about this 3-story building that collapsed in Lagos. I want us to talk about it and about 168 escape death at Ibadan Police Barrack. The building there also collapsed.
Mary, when the last one collapsed in Banala, what did I tell you?
I remember.
I said, my response again to this one you've told me is that it will happen again.
Thank you, Rufai. Let's open the phone lines. Let's open it and feel the pulse of our listeners this morning. We've had quite an interesting analysis this morning. Thank you so much, Rufai. Have a great day.
Bless you. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Now, the numbers to call is 08164425875. It's the number to call in to join the conversation. Hello, good morning.
Mary, how are you? Good morning. Happy holiday to us and happy weekend.
Yeah, happy weekend to you. Good morning. Welcome, Mr. Peter Monse.
Thank you very much. Mary, let me quickly tell you that 40% of them, because the government wants to increase workers' salary by 40%. I don't know whether it's total emolument or just basic salary. Let's assume that you are receiving 50,000 naira per month. 40% of it is just 20,000, and you add it to it is 70,000. And I am telling you that with the rate things will be going on, you find out that 20,000 additional may not even take you 2 weeks. So I think this is the time we should not talk about increment on any salary or anything from the government. We should hold this government accountable. They must tell us in this country why they have not fulfilled their campaign promises. You know, we just said 35 days more to go, and the Buhari has not fulfilled the campaign promises. That's what all Nigerians, maybe I used to, if we are one and from one mother, one father, and speak with one voice, with one accord, what every Nigerian should be talking about now is Buhari and APC to tell us why they have not fulfilled the campaign promises. 40,000 megawatts. Today we are told that we just have only 4,000. Since day before yesterday, we don't have light in my area, Bajula Road. Mary, where is the 120 million crude oil barrel that Serap is asking his government that happened in 2019? Every stealing money, looting the treasury, siphoning, and then they want to go in 35 days' time. Nigeria should sit back and tell ourselves the truth that this government must not go away like this. And we keep lamenting, we keep talking on the radio. Rufai was suggesting, why can't the National Assembly be part-time? Who will make it be part-time? Somebody carry bread in the mouth. You think we will throw that bread? No. How do we have to, who will bail us out in this condition? Because that's my simple question. Who will help us? Because we talk about it, we need, who will do it? You think National Assembly will cut their salary? Until we have a force that will come in, and then you will not like me to say it. Let me not say it. But I think Nigerians should tell ourselves the truth. This government must not go away without accounting for what no civil girls brought back, no refinery they promised us, no railway line to the southeast, nothing. So they will go like that, and we keep talking about them. It's very unfortunate, Mary.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for calling. 08164425875 is the number. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning to you. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, you're live. You're live. What's your name and location?
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, please call us back. I don't know why you can't hear me. The number is 08164425875. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Very good morning. Happy holiday and all that.
Happy holiday to you. Welcome. Go ahead.
Ikan calling you from Solo.
Welcome, Mr. Ikan.
Now, Mary,
Yeah.
this government is winding up in 35 days, and a lot of promise was made. Please, like I normally ask you, will it be possible for you to tell us or to update Nigerians with the promise that the ABC Buhari was promising Nigeria before it goes? And again, as the incoming government is coming in, will it be also possible for you to read maybe in one of your headlines, each time you give headline, you remind Nigerians that this is what this administration promised Nigerians. This is what they say they will do. So that maybe towards the half of the year, we'll be able to assess them and see if they have been able to do one thing or fulfill their promise. Because it is very, very sad. Buhari promised Nigeria that he's going to fight corruption. He's going to fight insecurity. He's going to uplift the lives of Nigerians. But at the end of it all, he leaves Nigeria with a fair promise. And like Peter Monse said, must we allow these people to just to go like that? He promised us that he's going to give us free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. At the end, what do we have? Everything is just in shambles. It is so sad. And we cannot continue like this. Mary, we cannot continue like this. If a nation has to grow, everything has to work together. I am not happy about it. And for the lives that have been wasted in accidents, I ask that God should help the family to be able to take the sober on that. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Ikan. Appreciate you. This is the front page review on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The numbers 081-644-25875. Before we go back to the phone lines, let's look at the messages that we have on WhatsApp. This one is from Senator Fomi Solo. Says the government that doesn't care for the lives of his citizens, shedding of blood has become the order of the day. How can we remember those in abroad? Posterity will judge him for this division and bad economy. He has finished the country he met in a better shape. Senator, thank you for the message. And good morning. PMB is nothing but a bad market to Nigeria. May this never happen to us again. I pray that the incoming government will get things right and make our country great again. And for Chimaroke Nnamani, he is only making mockery of himself by giving an unprofitable advice to Peter Obi. He said, as a matter of urgency, desist. He should, as a matter of urgency, desist from such. From HRHBC Nwoko in Oshodi, thank you so much for the message. And good morning, Mary. How was your weekend? Yeah, my weekend was good. Please, what I want to say is this. It takes only a man who loves and cares for the people's welfare to think of quickly saving them when they are in trouble or in danger. We are not loved by our leaders. It's unfortunate. Thank you. From Babiji Noshodi. Thank you, Babiji. Appreciate your message. And good morning, VOP. Dear Mary, this subsidy removal to me is a mirage. Our government is only very fast at taking action. When it's about things to do with money, they will cut into their pockets. What happens to the people that are not working? Inflation is looming by the day. We can't fight, but I know God will deliver us. Christy from Igondo, thank you so much for your message. We'll go take calls now. When we come back, we'll continue with the messages. Good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome. What's your name and location?
My name is Ben. I'm calling from Iba.
Mr. Ben, welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. I am looking at Chief Bola Tinubu. You have no plans for this country. You have no plans at all. You know what started from the day he was giving certificate of returns. One day he was to go to France and relax for 3 months. What start immediately? Because we are going to meet a subsidy removal. There is no negotiation again. Subsidy is not in our budget for these 6 months. Now, it is not in the budget as we remove. It is only for him to come and implement it. And if he said no, which one is it? Our budget is really low itself. And no country would like to give him. They will need to fund the budget. I know what he wants to do, what he will do to this subsidy removal. He cannot. Because countries all over the world are shying away from petrol, and the people cannot do it because the cabals that brought him in are the players. Somebody like Dangote now, can you talk of removing like introducing the electronic vehicle, gas vehicle, bringing the company. He can't try it because Dangote, look at his refinery. He will sell his fuel. So he cannot do something like that. This subsidy removal now will put fuel at about 3 times, like 700 naira per liter, which means transport will increase 3 times. If you are paying 300, you pay 900. So many people will lose their job. So many people will not enter vehicle again. They will be trekking. So far, it's too much now. People should be ready for it too. People in Nigeria should be ready. People will not fight it. They have no plans. And look at the cabals that brought in the Rufai, Ganduje, Matawali, all those cabals that took him to Buhari and said, look at our candidate, look at our choice. The corruption cannot fight corruption. There is no plans. Nigeria should be ready to suffer. There is nothing people have in mind.
Thank you.
There is no concentration.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. Thank you, Mr. Ben, for your contribution. 08164425875 is the number. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're on.
Hello, good morning, Mary.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. What's your name and location?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed. I'm calling you from Ajawo Estate.
Okay.
From corner.
Oh, welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. My point is this: in a country like ours,
yes,
what are we really celebrating an exit or an incoming president for? In the first place, the promise that we made in 2015, it has gone to worst. Is it only in Nigeria where you open the pages of a newspaper, the only thing you see is 20 dead, 50 dead, 30 dead, 200 dead? Can't we just have a good news for a day? And you will never see our president visiting the victims. You will never see him. I've never seen anywhere in the world where human beings will die, citizens. The presidents will not even go to that particular place to even shed tears or even feel what they feel. But rather you'll be sending probably the minister or somebody. They voted for you, not the minister. You have already denied them that love. So what are we talking about? The security situation has failed. People are no longer employing people. The politicians that are making it from politics, they don't have any viable business that can employ people. So for me, he's going to leave. Let him just go. Let him just pack and leave. We can't wait for him to just go. He should just leave. Even if somebody else is coming, let him just go. He just seems like a bad air for us. Now, that's just the thing that is going on right now.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Appreciate your contribution. Have a great day.
Thanks.
08164425875 is the number. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mary. Good morning.
Mr. Great Edu.
Yes, Mary. Mary, there's no need to complain. All of us are into it. So I don't complain. I always ask God to, just make a way for me. I think once I sleep, I think by the grace of God, God will direct me what to do. I don't need to complain. Mary, my concern is on this Sudan issue.
Yes.
I want Rufai to, analyze exactly what happened in Sudan. Government in Khartoum formed these people. Organize these people. They are fighting is the government now. They use these people to went to Southern Sudan to fought that war. After all of them came back, they still use them to nearly exactly what they are doing in Nigeria to ethnic cleansing in Western Darfur. Almost wipe the old people there away. Mary, what happened? At the end of the day, these people now turn against the government because they have everything to fight. That's what is going on in Sudan. They want to analyze the story for Nigerians to hear. You understand? I don't have enough time to analyze it today. Maybe. Now we are talking about to bring our students back. Do you know what they wrote? Do you know what newspaper said yesterday? That over 5 million Fulanis, Nigerian already, are living in Southern Sudan. What is the population of Fulani in Nigeria? This is where they are going. We know their plan. We know their strategy. Nobody's against each other. But you have to say the truth as it is. There's more crisis in Nigeria because they're going to bring the Fulani Sudan to Nigeria and say they are Fulani origin from Nigeria and continue fighting and sacking innocent citizens of Nigeria, taking over their land to bring them to settle them in Nigeria. Good morning and thank you. And Nigeria have to be wise. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Great. Now, let's head on to YouTube to take some of the messages here. This one's from Prince Unwa David TV. It says, VOP should create a GoFundMe GoFundMe, and some of us can support. Okay, Prince, thank you for that. Rufai, thanks for saying it out. Okay, this is Olayinka Valenhot with comment here. And another one, let's see, I want to take one comment from each person. Don't want to read multiple comments from one person. Now, Mama Obasuyi said, good morning, Mary. The problem is that with this incoming president, don't expect any positive change because his administration will be more worse than the Buhari's. Okay, thank you, Mama Obasuyi, for your message. And we have this one from Chuku Noso that says, Chimaroke Nnamani is enemy of progress. God will... Okay. Thank you for the message. Let's head back to the phone lines. The number is 081-644-25875. Hello, good morning.
Meticulous Mary.
Mr. Darlington.
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
And the holidays, I hope you're enjoying yourself.
I'm trying to enjoy it. You know, there's no holiday for us. We have to work.
I know. Don't worry yourself. Your holiday is coming.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Now, Mary, yes. How many times will the press tell us that Tinubu is coming back? The last time I checked, it is more than 4 times since he went on this rest. Every day, Tinubu is coming back today. Every day, he's coming back today. Are you telling me that he didn't know when he will come back or what? Or some people are trying to do, the more you look, the less you see? Look, I am not comfortable with this. This is an example of what is coming. That means this presidency will spend the rest of his tenure abroad. And his hired press will be telling us stories here. This is not what we want, though. This is not what we want. This is a very bad beginning as far as I'm concerned. It's a very bad beginning. By the way, Mary,
yes.
Somebody just told you now that he is grateful because he has acquired and achieved all the position on X. From minister to governor to head of state to president. And is going back. Please, how do you measure a successful man? Is it by acquiring position and wealth? Is that what you call a successful leader? This man is going back to Katsina to go and meet poverty. Please Google it. Google the level of poverty in Katsina, the level of illiteracy in Katsina, the level of child marriage in Katsina. Google it and see what he's going to meet. And he's very proud and he's beating his chest that he has done so well. A man who could not help his own child, how can he help your own child? He's very proud. He's going home. Going home to go and meet what? Poverty. Crushing poverty. And he did not even think that this is not normal as a leader. What will he tell Katsina people that he has done for them now? What? What will he tell them? That is what we are saying for 8 years. No single thing you could do. And they pull these people out of poverty, put them out of illiteracy. Let them hold on to it. Jonathan built a school, Almajiri school, to bring these people out of the streets and let them go to school. He came into office, instead of him to at least magnify that thing that Jonathan started, instead of to improve on it, so that today the North will say, yes, it was Buhari that made us to go to school and all that. Nothing. And he's beating his chest. He had been this, he had been that. I was just shaking my head.
Thank you, Mr. Darlington.
Position you are occupied now, what is the benefit? Why did you perform in these offices that you occupied? You are a minister of petroleum. Look at what is going on there.
Thank you, Mr. Darlington.
$2.4 billion missing under your watch, and you are not talking about it. Yes, you are beating your chest that you're a fulfilled man. I wish him well, I wish him well.
Thank you, Mr. Darlington. Thank you so much. I appreciate your contribution this morning. 081-644-25875. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, welcome. What's your name and location?
My name is Gabriel. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
All right. I especially want to thank Peter Monson and the man that just finished speaking now. Each time I hear them speak in this radio station, pick up courage, and I know that at least we still have men who can see the truth and say it. And I was listening to your man, Rufai, and I 100% concur and stood by what he said. And this is what I have been shouting on in this radio station and other radio stations, that we should do everything we can to make governance less attractive. Because this is the reason why these people are hiring thugs, killing, doing all manner of things to get into office. The moment this is done, I can tell you, these political jobbers will find their way out of politics. And those who have sincere heart and who want to serve the nation will emerge. Okay, so, and then also I want to say something about what Nnamani is saying about people. You should go and sit down. He's finished politically. He has nothing to offer. So maybe he's trying to regain his his political relevance by attacking people, but it cannot work. We know him very well. So he shouldn't tell people to drop it, or that. In fact, that thing he's saying amount to another a crime. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
So Peter Obi, his case is in the court, and he will pursue it to the
Thank you.
end.
Thank you
That
so
is
much.
that God will give him victory and give us victory. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Another headline here that I missed this morning. Did I miss it? Oh, no, it was not on this paper, but it was trending over the weekend. It said, "Pardon me if I hurt you. Buhari begs Nigerians as he departs office in 37 days. Now, I'm reading this headline because of Mr. Darlington. So, Darlington, I know you can hear me. So, the president has asked Nigerians to pardon him, especially those he might have hurt while discharging his duties. He made the appeal on Friday at an occasion to mark his final outing as president on Salah Day. So, Mr. Darlington, the president is apologizing to Nigerians to please forgive him. If he has hurt you in discharging his duties, he's saying he's sorry. Will that serve it for you, Mr. Darlington? Hello, good morning. Please kindly turn down the volume on your radio set.
I've done that.
Okay, what's your name and location?
My name is Siyot. I'm calling from Bagada.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, let me start from your last message, the weekend message that why say we should forgive him.
Yes.
Where do you start the forgiveness from? Where do we start? No, some people, they do something intentionally, and after they say that to err is human, to forgive is divine, bringing all sorts of emotional quotations. Somebody said there that the promises this man made were not fulfilled. He failed. Rufai affirmed that. And all of us are in the society. We've seen how insecurity has grown from Sambisa forest to the whole country. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm listening.
No part of the country is safe as we speak. Nowhere is safe. And some people are telling us that he's leaving Nigeria safer than he made it. Well, I wish they would be as safe as Nigeria is today. Where are the refineries? We were punished. Buhari protested when Jonathan tried to remove subsidy, and petrol was increased from 87 naira, I think, to 105 or thereabouts. Today, how much are we buying the same fuel? How many times has Buhari removed subsidy? When this fuel price was increased to 108 something we are buying now, we are told that because subsidy has been removed, up to today, we are still paying subsidy, which is called scam. Corruption, let's not even go there. So it's a fair promises everywhere. Look at the money he borrowed for rail projects, which every state will be part of the repayment process. You abandoned a whole region, the whole of Southeast. I don't know whether South were included. You abandoned them. Instead, gave their slot to Niger Republic. You prefer Niger Republic to a country, a part of the country.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
What I'm saying, Tinubu told us he'll continue from where this man stopped.
Thank you.
Is this what we are going to see?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Nnamani, he's just blabbing. He's just going rest.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, appreciate you. My time is up. I have lots of messages here. I'll try to rush through them. Good morning, Mary. Can this APC of Buhari government tell Nigerians one problem that they have solved? Power, insecurity, health, education, etc. After all the trillions they borrowed. What a government. Gabi from Ojo, thank you so much for your message, Mary. Until we start telling ourselves the truth in this country, we cannot get it better. Every day, different story. I'm tired. Chibuike from Ojo. Thank you. Well, it's quite unfortunate that they are now increasing salaries at this stage of their government, but their promises are not fulfilled. So it's very sad. Alexander, thank you. Sharing money to faceless families again. This is another looting. Dr. Tunde Boboye from Ondo. I hope GMB will be safe in Daura after retirement because he has failed to secure even his Castina. We don't want the kidnap of an ex-president to be added to our history because karma is looming. Today, thank you for your message. And lastly, this morning, this Sudan crisis isn't what Buhari wants now as he prepares to go back to his hometown, Daura. I can only pray for Nigerians that are stranded in Sudan because right now Buhari's soul and body is no longer in Abuja. I think we've had enough of building collapse under the government. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, we haven't heard it so bad like this. All the blames should go to the government. No defaulters has been named and shame in all of this building collapse that we have had in Lagos. Building collapse under government. Babajide Sanwo-Olu is now on a daily basis. What is going wrong, Mr. Governor? Okay, Adegboyega Adedeji, thank you so much for your message and thank you to you for being part of the program. My name is Mary Onaife. You can find me on Instagram at Mary Media. Coming up next at 8 o'clock is Ogendigbo. Keep it here. Do not change the dial.